It's morning. You wake up in the shelter that you've built yourself so far. Everything is mostly how you left it. Some mice got in, took a couple papers, some scraps here and there. Not unfamiliar. The light drizzle of rain tinkles against the roof as you wake up to another day in Bastion City. What do we see around you?
Um, there's a small makeshift table in the corner, and my bed made of newspapers. Um, I have a stuffed bunny that I found, and I guess that's about it. I have one picture of my mom and my dad, and that's really all I have.
As you survey your surroundings, mostly, again, the way you left them, you smell this scent of fresh baked pastries in the air. You glance out of your little window to see a line of people at that bakery that you tend to raid the dumpster for. You know that that line will dwindle down in the coming hours to the point where you might be able to stroll in and depending on who's working the counter, they might slide you something. But today, we do not feel like waiting as the growl of hunger sets in. What's the plan for breakfast?
Mm, there's a bakery down the road. I know if I sneak in with all the crowd, I might be able to swipe something from the counter. Or maybe the fruit stands down by the water. Either one would work. Let's go to the place across the street. They usually have something in the dumpster.
As you venture across the street, you find that dumpster full from last night's service. You scrounge through and you manage to find some, mushrooms that were cooked, overcooked noodles. You managed to find an entire sandwich that somebody just didn't pick up a to-go order. So, pretty decent breakfast. This vegetarian spot always just kind of hits you a different way. It's not bad. You do miss meat, though. As you're scrounging through the dumpster and trying to find something to drink, you hear a rustling down the alley in a cardboard box.
What's that?
You cautiously approach and you see two puppies, both kind of familiar looking. You've seen dogs like this before. What do they call them? It's hard to tell. They look like a bunch of different dogs at once. They look up at you with slight little bumps on their heads, sharper teeth than you would expect puppies to have. And something about them irradiates a warmth. As you feel like you get something in your eye, you blink a couple times and you open them again, and they're of Dobermans. One shaking wildly, but never taking its eyes off you, and the other slightly cowering behind. What do you do?
Don't be scared. I won't hurt you.
You hold out a hand for them to smell. The stout one sniffs you a little bit, looks at you with a tilted head, and then gently licks the tip of your finger as the other dog, cowering, slightly relaxes.
Good boy.
The dog sits up a little higher, and as it notices your admiration, it kind of nuzzles the other one up and gets it to sit next to it. And they seem to be doing a practiced gesture of begging, most likely for food. They look to you with a pleading eyes, almost as if they don't want to be alone.
Do you want to come with me?
Their stubby tails wag ever slightly as they try to jump out of the box, but they're still a bit too small. What do you do?
Don't worry. I've got you.
As you take the dogs out of the box, they start to sniff around your legs. One, the girl, sniffs up your pant leg a little bit, really trying to get acquainted with your scent. And as you walk off with them, they join you back at your humble abode, sniffing around in places while the boy sits in the middle of the space, chest puffed out, waiting for instruction. The girl sniffs around in places, and, well, you can smell what's happening in the newspaper.
Oh, oh no. It's okay. I'll get some more newspaper.
The dogs join each other in the center of the space, again looking at you for some type of direction, mostly confused.
Why don't we share the food I got?
As you split apart small bits of the sandwich and what appears to be fried cauliflower, they eat up their portions as quick as possible. And now, with slightly more full tummies, they wag their tails even more.
So cute. What should I call you guys?
You hear a slight from the boy as he sits back up at attention.
I think I'll call you Anubis.
You see this small dog be imbued with a confidence you did not know was possible for an animal. And as it is still shaking like a leaf, it imbues itself with a new sense of pride.
Okay. Let's call you Pyrus.
As the little girl dog, now named Pyrus, spins and jumps with glee, you now have two friends, two companions. As you then spend the day getting used to each other. You sleep in a small pile at night. You didn't need a blanket. You didn't need to stay dry. All you needed was the warmth of your two friends. Time jumps forward, and you are now used to the company of your new friends. Anubis and Pyrrhus, now looking more full in their figures from consistent eating, have learned to stay by your side as you walk down the streets, and they do their own jobs of deterring unwanted attention. You have two fuzzy bodyguards, and that makes things a slight bit easier trying to find fresher food as well. So fresh, in fact, that they smell something familiar in the air as they start scraping up the back door of that familiar restaurant that you always see across the street. What was it called again? Thistleback, I believe? Something like that.
Anubis! No! Pyrus! No!
You hear footsteps approaching.
Uh-oh.
Hello? Is someone there? The door opens, and you see a older elvish woman, drooping ears, silver hair, crow's feet like nothing you've ever seen, wire-framed glasses down chains of crystals draping across her collar bone, an apron, stained apron across her chest, and a somewhat mustard-colored dress underneath. She's wiping her hands with a damp rag. She says, "Oh, hello. Who are you?"
I'm sorry.
"It is all right, child. I'm sure your fuzzy little friends couldn't help themselves. What is your name?"
Nadira.
"Well, you are positively thin as a rail. Where are your parents?"
Fine.
"No guardian or anything like that?"
No. I live in the alley across the street.
"Well, child like you should not be living alone. Why, it's good that you have your two friends here, but you should be in a proper home. Hold on, I'll just call the authorities and they'll
No!
get
No,
you.
no, no! No!
Okay. Do you mind if I ask why?
I don't like the police. They're not nice people.
Not nice. Okay. Then how about you come upstairs and sit on my couch for a bit? You can get a bath and a proper meal. Does that sound better?
You promise you won't call them?
And she kneels down to rest on her knees so that she's at least somewhat eye level with you. And it's at this point you hear it was some pirates go.
Heel! Sit!
He sits with reluctant compliance. She goes, "Ooh, vicious little things. I promise that I will not call anyone you don't want me to. And after you bathe and after you eat, we can try and piece together someone who can take care of you. Does that sound
I
fair?"
can take care of myself.
"Well, I don't." She looks you up and down, seeing your tattered clothes and unkempt hair. "Well, I don't doubt that. A young girl as yourself should take better care of herself. How about I show you a couple things and give you a backpack that I have lying around. We put some extra things in it, and that way you can look a bit more presentable.
Okay.
All right. Wait here for just a minute. I will shut off all the lights, shut off everything, and I'll be right back. You wait what turns out to be 10 minutes, and she takes your hand, and the entire time that you are walking with her, Anubis does not take his eyes off of her. Pyrrhus, on the other hand, stays behind, somewhat watching behind all of you, as they are known to do. You go up to a lovely apartment. The immediate smell of incense and potpourri fills your nose as you feel warmth. You feel the squish of water in your shoes, something now you are aware of as she helps you take your shoes off. The room is small at first, but as you look around corners, it grows. You see an old paisley couch, stuffed to the brim with cushion, an old TV, one that you saw in a window probably a couple of years ago, and a small kitchen with an iron gas stove and pots and pans, herbs hanging from the ceiling. You smell possibility. She snaps her fingers, and you see a fireplace come to life. Here, sit here. I'll give you a blanket. You can warm up for a minute.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, as she sits on the floor next to you, how did you come to be living like this?
My mom and dad died.
Oh, I'm sorry. They didn't leave someone be to be your caregiver, or
I don't have any family.
I see. Tell me more.
Um, some bad people came and mom and dad got hurt. The police didn't help. Even though I called them like mama showed me.
Right.
And then
What did the police say?
they said my mom and dad were bad people.
I see. May I tell you a story?
Okay.
There once was a little boy in an elfish village with a mother who was, let's say, eager to make sure he had the best thing. She would work very hard, making her bread, making her food to sell in the market so that her boy could have the best toys and the best clothes. But the little boy didn't know how to appreciate it. So when the little boy got older, he sought the appreciation of bad people. Now, the little boy himself wasn't bad. He was doing what he thought was right. The bad people convinced the little boy that the things they made him do were the right things to do. And one day, the little boy was asked to steal bread from the baker. The little boy said, "No, the baker is a good man. Why would we steal from him?" The bad people said, The baker has what we want, so we must take what we want. This confused the little boy, but he was afraid of what the bad people would do if he did not say yes. So he agreed, and under cover of night, the little boy went into the baker's house to steal some bread. While the little boy was in the kitchen, he accidentally knocked over a bucket, and it made the baker wake up and come into the kitchen. He says, "Who's there?" The little boy stood quiet in the kitchen, caught. The baker pulled a rolling pin from the wall and said, "Get out of here! Drop the bread and leave!" The little boy dropped the bread and ran back to the bad people who made him do that terrible thing. They said, "Where's the bread? Why didn't you grab it?" The little boy said, "He caught me. I had to get out of there." The bad people didn't care. The bad people wanted the bread. So, to punish the little boy, the bad people took what was most precious to him. They took his mother as an example. That little boy was forced to grow without the love and care of a family. The little boy grew into a ruthless king. And that king did a lot of bad things, hurt a lot of people. And at the end of that king's life, all he could think was about that night he stole that loaf of bread and how he missed his mother. The end. You see, child, in this world there are a lot of people who force good people to do bad things. And I think your parents were forced to do bad things by bad people. And I am sure they loved you with all their hearts. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that you should sleep here tonight so that you can, at the very least, stay dry. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, you have good manners. She pinches your cheek. That's good. Now, I have some stew on the stove that will be ready in a minute. Go into the bathroom, take a bath. You do know how to take a bath, yes?
Yep.
Okay. You and your friends go take a bath. There'll be plenty of towels. I'll put a change of clothes by the door, and we will have dinner. After you take your bath, you are given a pair of clothes that feel a bit too big, but as you put them on, they shrink to your size. Magical in nature, of course. What follows is a lovely night. Miss Thistle, as you come to know her, tells you many stories about her, where she grew up, and other things she's experienced. It's warm. It's loving. It's the best meal you've had in a long time. Even Anubis and Pyrrhus are full to the brim of stew. As you fall asleep on that paisley couch, for the first time in a long time, you feel safe. That morning, you wake up on that couch to the familiar sounds of the city. How would you be feeling now?
At that time, I felt refreshed. No one had ever been that kind to me.
How would you go about your day after this incident? This lovely happenstance.
I went to see Miss Thistle often. She was always so kind to me. I always knew where to get food.
As time goes on, you know you can come back to Miss Thistle for a hot meal, a warm couch, and a pile of stories. As you're walking down a familiar alley in a familiar area, you feel pretty good. Your birthday was yesterday, and uh, Miss Thistle actually got you a full cake this time. Usually, she gets you like a cupcake or anything like that, but you just turned 10 and she's decided to splurge. She made it herself, even though it wasn't made with any milk, eggs, or sugar. It it tasted okay. It was fine. It was exactly fine. But Anubis and Pyrrhus walking beside you, Pyrrhus getting their act together slightly, at least in public, starts walking similar to Anubis, puffing her chest out and looking intimidating. But you pass a familiar group of hoodlums and say, "Hey, Nadira, how's it going? Where you been? I haven't heard from you in a minute."
What do you want?
Hey, no, hold on. Look, just because I grifted you a little bit last time doesn't mean we're not friends, right?
We're not friends.
Oh, don't say that. I helped you out that one time.
No.
Okay, well, I kind of need some help, so you can be a good person and maybe help me? Yeah?
No.
You're looking at this young tiefling kid, black trench coat, gray shirt, blue jeans. Clearly doesn't have any fashion sense at all. Axel is just very annoying, but somehow he helps you get money sometimes, and you know it's whatever. He goes, now, Dira. Can I call you Dira?
No.
Okay, fine, whatever. Look, I have a money making opportunity, and he's like, wait, don't walk away, hold on. He follows you as you attempt to walk away from the situation. You hear a suspicious jingle in his pocket. He's like,
Get off my back, Axel.
look. Hey, have I steered you wrong before?
Yes.
Have I steered you wrong recently?
Yes.
Okay, just, you need money, don't you?
If this is a bad lead, I'm gonna let Anubis chew on your leg.
Anubis looks at Axel with all of the contempt a dog can give. And then Axel just goes, hey, newbie, how's it going?
Don't call him that.
Okay, oh, whoa. Okay. Check your dog. Look, there's this guy I know in an organization, and he needs some people to just look out for the cops while they do a business meeting in the Lich Ward. So, wait, we're already here in the Lich Ward. So, if you just come back here, I can give you an address. If you go to this address, all you have to do is stand outside a warehouse. And if the cops come, you just press a button that they'll give you. They leave. And if nothing happens, you get your money. If something does happen, you get your money the next day. Sound good?
I'm sorry. Are you actually asking a 10-year-old with 2 dogs to be security?
No. You're not security. You're not roughing anybody up. You're just looking out. You're just looking out, giving a heads up in case something happens.
You want me to be a lookout so if the cops come, I get caught?
No. See, that's the beauty of it. You're going to be posted in an area where it's not suspicious for you to be there, right? You're just some kid hanging out in near a warehouse. You don't know what's going on. But if the cops come, you press the button then throw it. The button magically disappears after a certain amount of time, so they can't find the button on you, and you have plausible deniability. You don't know what happened in the warehouse. All you know is that something happened, you ran, and that's it.
Hmm.
Look. Okay. Here's what I'm sure you want to hear, right? It pays 10 gold.
I'm gonna need more than that.
I could probably get you 12, maybe 15.
15.
15. I could talk to the guy. Okay? But that 10 is just kind of the going rate for this type of stuff, right? You're not really doing anything. You're just looking out or pressing a button. So, like, just chill. But I'll talk to him and see if I can get you 15.
If I get caught, I go in the system. So, get me 20 and we have a deal.
20? You just said 15.
And now I said 20.
Okay, listen here, all right? If you don't want to do it, if you don't need the money, just say so.
Nubis.
I got plenty of. Hey, no. Just back off. Back off, okay? Back off.
Heel.
Look, all right. Fine. Whatever they give you, I'll give you the extra out of my cut, okay?
Deal.
He hands you a piece of paper. Just show up here, 10 p.m. tonight. What time is it? What time is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just be here, 10 p.m. tonight, and you'll get your money, okay?
Okay.
There you are. Sitting in a warehouse district in the Lich Ward. 10:30 p.m. It's quiet. The familiar sounds of the nightlife miles away ring through the air. You're looking out across the storage yard and you hear some sort of scuffle behind you. You hear some sort of moving, shifting voices. You hear fire, you think, but not your business. Just keep looking out. You don't see anything. You don't hear anyone out of the ordinary. Then all of a sudden, you see a giant explosion fly out from behind you. And a giant ball of fire rockets through the air, arcs down, and lands at the front door of this warehouse. You hear as a bone devil is summoned in this ball of fire. You see many people trying to wrangle it, trying to get it out. The dogs are immediately on edge. You see the devil lock eyes with you and start running in your direction. What do?
Run!
You are running through the storage yard. You are trying to find somewhere to hide, somewhere to be safe. The dogs bark in your general direction, and you start following them through alleyways and byways in ways that they know are safe. They know you can fit through and hide in. You manage to find an open container. You shut the door, only leaving a crack. You hear the devil. prowling outside. You have your hands over your mouth, trying not to make a sound. As the devil climbs on top of the container you are in, you are trembling. And all of a sudden, you see Anubis shake its head. As you see horns come from Anubis's head, you see its body start being wreathed in flames, and Pyrrhus begins to follow suit. You feel your souls connected on a different level. The devil hears these changes and prowls closer to the door. Hearing your voice in the container, it rips the door open. As you are confronted by this wild, horrible thing, you feel suddenly in your hands 2 pistols. You look around, the dogs are gone, yet you feel their warmth in your hands. And something feels right, feels familiar. What do you do? A blast of demonic energy flies from the barrel of one of the guns, smacks the devil in the eye. It reels back in pain as shot after shot after shot rings out from your guns, giving yourself enough time to come out of the container. You start to back away from the devil as you shoot. It doesn't seem to be able to lock its eyes on you, be able to follow you. And as you keep shooting and shooting, you back away and finally run. You hear men's voices following behind you as they come to deal with the devil in earnest, and you escape. The next morning, Axel finds you at your usual spot. He looks worse for wear. He looks like he got the shit kicked out of him in many different ways. He's like, hey, Naughty, right? Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Didn't I tell you not to call me that? Where's my money, dimwit?
Okay, look, I will admit, last night got a little heavy.
Money, now.
A little expected. He hands you 20 gold, as promised. And he hands you another 10. And hopefully you can stay quiet about it.
Don't bother me anymore.
Okay, but you know,
Don't
as you're walking
bother
away,
me again.
Fine. Just lost your cash cow.
Dimwit!
Your alarm goes off. 7:30 in the morning. Anubis is perched upon your chest, his weight somehow heavier. Every morning he feels heavier. You slap the alarm away and you push Anubis off of you
Anubis.
as you sit up in your bed in your apartment.
Anubis off.
It's nice. It's a studio, but it's nice. Rooftop apartment. You got a window facing your bed, the sun shining through, blinding you as usual. Anubis and Pyrrhus sit at attention, waiting for breakfast.
Anubis, how many times do I have to tell you? I can't breathe when you're on my chest.
Pyrrhus sits behind Anubis as she, wagging her tail, patiently but also not patiently, waiting for her breakfast.
Good girl, Pie.
You serve them breakfast as usual, and you turn on your kitchen radio to. Hey, welcome, dreamers and doers. It's Blim Whizzle Crank here to crank up the tunes on your Tuesday morning. Today, we have it as he goes on with the morning report. You make yourself a nice breakfast. You go light this time, gathering some herbs from your little rooftop garden here and your raised beds. You go out and sit in your little chair, have your coffee, finish reading one of the many books you have stacked up in a little box outside. The morning is nice and fresh. The smell of Miss Thistle's preparation for the restaurant below fills your nose. The roar of the city waking you up this morning. You hear a knock on the rooftop door. Darling!
Mm, yes.
You see Miss Thistle wrench the rooftop door open. Oh, that does not get easier. Good morning! Hi! How are you?
Morning, Gus.
Yes. Well, I was wondering if you'd be free to help me out for dinner service today.
I gotcha.
Great, great. Lisa called off again. Turns out that her child had a mishap at school and she can't come in for her shift. So, thank you for helping as always.
No problem.
So, what are your plans for today?
I have an interview.
Isn't that tomorrow?
No, should be. It's Tuesday, right?
Today is Tuesday, yes, but you told me your interview was Wednesday. As
Wednesday.
you take out your phone and scroll through your emails, that it is in fact Wednesday, your interview.
Wow. Guess I'm not doing anything today.
Wonderful. You know what you should do? You should go down to that little coffee shop by the park. I heard that they have some new thing where they add fairy dust to the coffee. Maybe it does this thing. Maybe it makes you fly. I don't know. I haven't dealt with fey stuff in a very long time.
Are you only saying that because of the cute guy that just started working there?
Hmm? I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, if a certain cute full boy came into the restaurant asking about you the other day, and I said that you do work here sometimes, but you are mainly at your job with the police, I also may have given him your email address.
You
And
didn't.
hey, don't get mad at me because you don't want to put yourself out there.
So,
Hey, now,
see,
remember
now
who
you
you
got my accent coming out because I live with you now.
were
It's not your
talking to.
fault.
Hey, watch it, young lady. I am doing what's best for you. You need companionship besides these two right here.
These two are fine. See, how do I
Yes,
get it to stop?
you get what to stop.
The accent.
I just calm down. Just calm down, okay?
See, this is what I get for living with you because the accent comes out now whenever I get upset.
Oh, poor me. I'm Nadira Shakti. I was dragged in from the streets by a wonderful old woman, and I am forced to deal with her accent. I have worked so hard for you over these years. This is how you thank
Oh,
me.
this'll.
No,
Please.
it's okay. I'm just an old woman. I don't know anything about love
All
or
right, that's
relationship.
enough. That's enough guilting.
She sheds one singular tear and gives you the guilt tripping eyes.
Oh my gosh.
You know, if the girl I love as a daughter would only call the boy and maybe see if they could
My
go for.
god, fine. Fine. I will go down to the coffee shop where he works. Are you happy?
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, if you head over now, ooh, wear that one shirt, the one that kind of shows a
I
little
will
bit but
wear
leaves.
what I want. Get out.
No, you need. I read in a
Out.
magazine
Listen.
that.
Out.
Oh,
Out, out,
fine.
out.
Okay, can you get the door? It's very heavy.
You are such a guilter.
I, I am your mother figure. I only want what's best for you. And he's such a nice
Yes, mother
boy.
dearest.
Good. I'm glad you get the picture. She closes the door behind her and leaves you to your devices. You see the horns show on Anubis and Pyrrhus as their subtle sign of, do we need to be guns? Is this time for guns?
No, no guns.
The horns recede only halfway.
No guns. Horns away.
Pyrrhus puts her horns away. Anubis does not.
Anubis.
And he struts off.
Pretty little.
As you head over to the coffee shop, what do we see of Nadira Shakti?
I'm in slightly casual clothes. A nice t-shirt, a jean jacket, and a long maxi skirt with stripes.
What colors are we working with today?
The denim is black. The shirt is like a lavender purple, pinkish purple kind of thing. And the skirt has hints of white, hints of black, little bits of grey, and then just some basic white sneakers.
What hairstyle are we going with today?
It's a nice ponytail, high ponytail.
Good. You approach the coffee shop mentioned. Fizzle and Wink Fizzle and Wink Cafe. As you do see a Furbolg boy at the counter with a small line of people in front. There is a sign by the door that says familiars allowed, pets are not. Anubis and Pyrrhus see this sign and look to you.
I mean, you are kind of familiars, right? I, I guess we'll see what happens.
Anubis huffs as you hear the ding 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 of the door as you open. The Furbolg boy at the counter sees you, and you see a familiar dopey expression that you've seen many a time by many a man. You've finally approached the counter. He says, "Hi, welcome to Fizzle and Wink Cafe. What can I get started for you?"
Um, I was told there was a coffee with fairy dust.
Yeah. The the La Fay is what the owner calls it. Um, yeah, I can get you one. You want it regular, as it comes, or do you have any preferences? I'm Dorfus, by the way.
Hi, Dorcas.
um, yeah. Would you like the uh latte regular, or do you have any preferences of milk or?
Just regular. Thank you.
Great. That'll be up in a second. And while we have a second, I've noticed you around um, Thistleback, the restaurant down the way. Um, Miss Thistle said that you rent from her.
Yes, I'm on the rooftop.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. You know, skyline is really cool to see. Um, your name is?
Nadira.
He holds out a hand to shake.
Nice to meet you.
You shake his hand. It's sweaty. It's very sweaty. Yeah. So you come around often? You know? Um.
I might now.
Oh. Well, you know. Oh, your coffee. Here you go. Um. Well, my buddy has this band, and I don't know if you like dwarfish music, but he he's pretty good, I think. A lot of brass, you know. Uh, if you're into that type of thing, maybe I can get your number and we can, schedule some thing. I
Didn't this allowed to give it to you?
mean, if you want, I'm not demanding or anything. Uh,
I'm curious.
Great. He slides over a sticky notepad and a pen.
I write down my number.
Great. He takes it, puts it in his pocket. He's like, "Great. I'll text you or call. I'll probably text. Or call. Would you prefer? Nope. No. I'll text. I'll definitely text you. Um, it's good seeing you. And cool dogs, by the way.
Thanks.
Anubis and Pirates haven't taken their eyes off of him this entire time.
They're my guns.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look lethal.
No, I mean, they literally turn into guns.
Great. Familiars are very versatile. Cool. Cool. Well, I'll be seeing you.
Bye.
And
Thanks for the coffee.
of course. And the coffee is actually pretty good. Um,
I give him a little wink as I leave.
you see him melt ever so slightly. Um, and as you walk away in the reflection of a passing semi, you see him kind of do emotions like, yes, yes, fuck yeah, as you walk down the street.
I guess the soul was right. He's a little cute. I'm still stuck in this damn accent. Oh, that woman.
The next day comes, and it is time for your interview. You approach the building of the 8th Precinct of the Bashford City Police. You've been here before, you'll always come here again. You see Linda at the front counter. Oh my god, hi! How are we this morning?
Hi. I'm good.
Great. Oh, okay. You are stuffy with me. Every morning you come in here for your shift. Now I know that you're talking to Mr. Kelvin about that open position with the MHIU. Now don't be nervous. You've earned this. You've been with us long enough. You've proved your aptitude long enough. Don't worry. Okay?
Thanks, Linda.
Okay, you can give me a little more than that, all right? I'm being very generous with my time here. Okay, do you need a bit more makeup? Do you need a little, like a breath mint? What do you need? How can I help?
Makeup.
Yeah, putting something over that. You know what? No, you don't. You probably won't need it.
I'm not wearing any.
You not? Why not?
Do I need it?
As you look at Linda, this human woman is always with very loud eyeshadow. Her nails are a little bit longer than regulation, and she's got some very nice lipstick. She doesn't look bad, but she looks very loud. He's like, "Oh, darling, without a full face, you're." not ready for the world, in my opinion, of course.
Oh, I never wear makeup.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I would recommend maybe just a little lip liner, maybe a nude lip is also very professional, but you don't have time. You don't have time. Mr. Kelvin's waiting for you in his office, second floor, third door to the right.
Thanks, Linda.
Yes, yes, yes. Love you. As you approach the office, you knock on the door. Ah, yes. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Calvin.
Yes, Miss looks at a piece of paper. Shakti, correct?
Yes.
Great, great. Have a seat. As you know, my name is Rust Kelvin. Um, I apologize that you couldn't bring your dogs today. They aren't a threat. We just wanted to make sure that you were in your personal um, best here for this interview.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Great. It seems that you have been with the office for about 2 years now.
Yes.
Great, great. Rose to the ranks of the academy. Um, you have your dogs as your weapons. I see here. Hellhounds. Interesting. How'd that happen?
I found them.
You didn't make any deals. You just found them.
Yes. They were puppies.
All right. Well, that loyalty is definitely there. Well, I'm going to start this recorder here. Uh, just know this interview will be recorded and reviewed by the board.
Yes, sir.
All right. This is Russ Kelvin conducting interview for Nadira Shakti, 27 years old. Been with the force for 2 years. Badge number 3B0BA3. Good morning, Miss Shakti.
Good morning.
So it says here that you have a stellar rise through the academy,
Yes, I do.
and you have a great record as a patrol officer with 13 arrests and 14 prosecutions. Don't know how that math adds up, but it seems to me that you could be aiming for a sergeant position, maybe even preliminary captain of a new precinct that might need something. Why do you feel that the MHIU is where you belong? Hmm. Very admirable. Well, with the MHIU, you're going to face a lot of similar situations and some that are honestly very unfortunate. The last case that that came across their desk was two devils that were between a argument of who should take a deal with a certain individual. Apparently, this individual summoned two demons at the same time, and a resounding brawl over the between these demons over who gets the man's soul and who gets the deal leveled half a neighborhood. You will also approach some situations with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety has been mentioned in this line of work. Sometimes, Shakti, stress appears in different ways with everyone. Now, I will say some situations you're going to approach are house calls for extraplanar beings or wellness visits for individuals that the city has deemed potential threats. Of course, there are the times where you have to do security detail for some of the ancient dragons in the city. There are so many things that fall under the responsibility of the MHIU that you will be privy to. All in all, I am saying you, if you are accepted to this unit, you are the last stand, the last wall, the last force in this town, aside from the military, which, as we all know, the country does not send willy-nilly. You are the fighters of justice for this city. Do you feel you can uphold that responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Good. Take me through your day to day. What exactly do you do when you are not
My
stressed?
day to day, sir.
Yes. Say you had a day off. What would you be doing?
Spending time on my rooftop patio. Most likely
Hmm.
reading a book or tending to my garden.
Hmm.
Maybe venturing into the city a bit, finding a new hole in the wall.
That's good. The wife and I actually found this new restaurant called Thistleback the other night. It's
Oh,
very
I
nice.
live above it, actually.
Oh, what a coincidence! We actually got to meet the owner. She's a very nice woman.
Yes, she is. She helped raise me.
Oh, well, isn't that nice? Miss Shakti, I'm going to be very frank here. There is something that came across my desk that is slightly troubling. About 2 months ago, you had a run in with Officer Mathers here on a potential arrest of some orcs that were caught in a brawl. This report says that you belittled Mathers on his etiquette and operational. What does this say? Operational matters? What? Could you please explain the situation?
I arrived on the scene. We had received multiple calls, and Mathers was first responder. I arrived to people screaming and running out of the building because Mathers had decided to pull his gun without trying to de escalate the situation.
It says here that the orcs pulled weapons on him first. Witness account says that.
Neither orc was holding a weapon.
So you're saying at the time of your arrival, no orcs were armed, yet this Officer Mathers had a gun and a short sword drawn.
Just the gun. Both orcs were standing, staring at him. No one else was brawling. Everyone was out of the building except for the orcs because they didn't know what Mathers was going to do. I talked to multiple of the people who had run out, who explained to me before I arrived on the scene that Mathers walked into the building and immediately pulled his gun. No words were said, nothing was done, just his gun out.
Witness report says that Officer Mathers repeatedly asked the orcs to calm down, repeatedly gave warnings, and you're telling me that this didn't happen.
It did not. I even checked the
Hmm.
cameras. I went back later and even asked the owner to email the footage to Linda, the secretary.
Yes.
She should have already
Yes,
sent
Linda
it to
is
you this
very
morning.
helpful in these matters. Well, Miss Shakti, I'm going to get into the meat of the situation. Officer Mathers filed a report on you, a complaint on against you that has since been dropped because he, quote, was upset that you called him a sniveling and inoperable idiot that should not have the badge and you are, quote, shocked to hell that he even got through basic training.
Yes, that's correct.
Is there any reason for this loss of candor in the moment?
You do know where the fight was, correct?
Yes, it was in the Fiend district, correct?
Yes, I mean the establishment, sir.
Yes, it was a bar by the Wicked
It
Weasel.
wasn't a bar, sir.
And what?
It was a family restaurant.
So you're telling me that this entire report has been falsified?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's a good thing you said so, Miss Shakti. Uh, could you bring him in? In walks Officer Mathers, um, and the orcs that were a part of the incident. They all shake hands. He's like, Officer Mathers here was asked to help with a uh, on-site test, a exercise to gauge your decision making and thoroughness in emergencies and possible confrontations. To work on the MHIU means you need to look behind the obvious to see what isn't there. And by doing the research you did and making sure that these fine gentlemen, as he motions to the orcs, were not persecuted improperly, you have shown that you have the ability, the wherewithal, and the know-how to defend this fair city. He stands. I would like to welcome you to the MHIU. He holds out a hand to shake.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm sure that your team will be very prepared for what's coming up. You here have a splitting headache. The blast threw you into the street with everyone else. You feel a thumping, pounding in your head as you look to the side. You see Anubis and Pyrrhus, badly damaged but still moving, as Anubis stands and moves in front of you to protect you. You look up, you see Aradia and Silas talking to that fucking abomination that started all of this. You look to the side, you still see people running to safety. You see the rest of your party is still unconscious. You hear Silas trying to talk, trying to buy you time. You see Aradia talking to Valhalla, just trying to get it to understand its place in this situation. You know, negotiations went south as you see the red crimson blade you're so familiar with shoot from her hand as her main weapon fails to work.
Anubis. Pyrrhus. Gun phone now.
Pyrrhus nods to Anubis, licks his nose, and they nuzzle their heads quickly before turning into their weapon forms. They feel heavier. You feel the weight of them, and you know you have to do something before it all goes south. You feel another splitting headache come on as you hear in your mind, well. The only one I like out of all of you is finally awake.
Out of my head.
You know I won't do that. You have too much to offer me.
Fuck.
Don't you get it yet? The things you fight for, the ones you protect, they don't care about you. All they want is your power, your dogs, the mutts they are, tools for your overwhelming strength.
Shut up!
All you know has been strife and weakness and struggle. I can
No.
lift you from this. I
No.
can help you.
Stop.
Even now you fight me.
Stop
Even
it.
now you resist.
I said stop it.
As you force the voice out of your head, it turns to you, blazing spear in hand, floating above you. He says to all of you, I'm done with this trifling game. You all shall fall. He raises his spear in the air, and a portal opens behind him. Into it you see the realm of fire, and you hear the blood-curdling shriek of that which you sought to control coming to get its payment. And that's that.
Uh.
This has been Realms Abound, MHIU, with Catherine DeVries as Nadira Shakti and I, Zach Robinson, as the Realm itself. Thank you for listening, and you can find us as Realms Abound on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. You can also find us on our Discord server. Use the links on our Instagram to join and talk with the cast and even listen to our recording sessions live. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next time. Realms Abound, when the dice roll, reality bends.